Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. 2 strikes for criminals? 2 strikes for criminals who are found guilty of a crime in the US or some other country, and when they come back to Barbados, what, you're going to try them for the same thing they were tried for in another country, especially if it deals with money laundering? He's a idiot. He a criminal himself? Ain't Darwin Dottin a criminal himself? But anyhow, you're going to forget that, but I remember that, okay? Anyhow, he's talking about what's his face, Donville. He called Donville's name, talking about what you can, if the criminality started in Barbados and you're caught somewhere else, when you come back you can institute some sort of criminal proceeding. Shouldn't that have been started like eons ago? With one of your ministers from the DLP, Michael Lashley, wasn't he stopped with a whole bundle of money, but because he was a diplomat, he could not, go back to America? Okay, let me ask a question. Can Michael Ashley travel to America? Maybe the time has elapsed for the, because they give you a deadline where you can reapply for a visa. So maybe that time has elapsed. But there was something going on with Michael Ashley too, and him, this one here, him. He was doing some illegal shit too when he was in the force and wiretapping and bringing in, cars. Was it him or was it? And you see, you get confused. Maybe it was Tyrone. Maybe it was Tyrone that had that was bringing in the illegal car. All of them. Scratch deep enough and you'll find it. Okay, so peel that onion deep enough and you'll find the criminality. But he's talking about 2 strikes. 2 strikes for criminals coming back to Barbados if the crime initiated in Barbados. Well, what about the ones who have 30, 40, 50, 60 convictions? Shouldn't there be a 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing there too? Shouldn't there be something that starts in Barbados? We're not talking about ones who are what's the word? What's the easy word? What's the easy word when you get sent back home? Deportee. Poor Donville Innes' name is in here somewhere. He mentioned Donville Innes' name somewhere in there. Deportee. We're not talking about just the deportees. Let's talk about the ones who live in Barbados who have had multiple their career criminals. Even when they're out, they're still practicing their criminality. And you turn a blind eye to that. It should be 3 strikes and you're out in Barbados. Okay, so you're talking about complex cases. He's getting into a lot of corruption. But how are you gonna police this when you can't even police yourselves in Barbados? How are you going to police? He's talking about ICBL. I don't think you can see it. Okay, yeah, you're not seeing the cursor because it's over there somewhere. We said that. Yeah, he's talking about what is with him and Donville Innes. What is with him and having Donville Innes' name in his mouth? Okay, what's going on? Because all of this is political. Maybe Donville Innes is trying to come, dust the cobwebs off him and whatever, and come back out. Donville, stay put. Sit down, Donville. You look bad. You're your bad-looking self. Stay put, okay? You don't need to come out. You don't need to come back and do nothing. Nobody want to see no Donville Innes, but we don't want to hear his name in this one's mouth either, okay? 2 strikes for criminals. 2 strikes for criminals. So when you come back, because the Americans or the Canadians or whoever else has a dossier, has a big file on what they did and what they discovered, you're going to take that file and you're going to, we know you like to copy, you're going to copy and try them in Barbados where it is stated, well, if he was here in Barbados, that would never happen. If Donville was here in Barbados, he would never have gone to court for that. You're never going to find guilty. You know how you talk in Barbados, right? You know what you'll be saying. You know that Donville would have been breezing had he not been in America, had he not been tapped on the shoulder. And, it went right through that he spent some time in federal prison. It would never have happened in Barbados, as was spoken. And when he came back, they were talking, next prime minister. Next prime minister. And they're talking about next prime minister. He's talking about his Viagra. Oh, I just dropped my Viagra. And no wife to see. No wife in the background. The wife still in America. He's talking about, it's a mess. It's a mess. Darwin Dottin is no one to talk about no two-strike criminal, nothing investigating corruption, a little different. Investigating corruption, a little different. Well, you're going to have to look at everyone. Oh, the 5%ers. You're going to have to look at the 5%ers. Start there because you know there's no white collar prosecution. The DA, what's his name? Dale Marshall, the Attorney General in Barbados, don't do no white collar prosecuting. He don't hold nobody that is really, I mean, the head of the organization. If the head of any organization is held, you change the laws. Oh, they went to court and this law is against the Constitution. And yeah, he brought in drugs, but you know, you can't say he brought in drugs because, you know, you see the skin color? Are you looking at the skin color and the straight hair and the blue eyes? What is it about this man you don't see? You cannot prosecute this man. It goes against the man's constitution. And you have to change the Constitution in Barbados if you bring it up again. You remember which one I'm talking about, right? You remember? I know you remember which one I'm talking about. But that yacht, it's not a boat. A yacht came in, and those guys came in. What happened to the black guy in that particular caper? What happened to him? Because the two white guys got bail, and the black one stayed at the hotel there in St. Philip. What became of that matter? But one got a reprieve. I think he gave a whole lot of money to the BLP. And you know, and the DPP, you know who the DPP is, right? Decided not to prosecute him, and then the other one that was charged, you changed the law. They changed the law. You had to change the law. It was Andrew Pilgrim, found something in the law and said, well, it's really you're fucking up with this guy's constitutional rights, okay? I mean, can't you see who he is? Don't you know who he is? Okay, so you had to change the law on that one. So it's not gonna work. Dottin is in your paper talking a lot of BS. 2 strikes for criminals because it starts in Barbados. So what are you gonna do? Make an example out of Donville in this? You got one there now that's trying to stop he doesn't want to go to the United States. Remember the one that worked for Judicial? I can't remember these people's names. And then there's one in Canada, that woman that is hiding, or Inez, whatever her name is. We're going to start with them. Start prosecuting them and stop worrying or stop depending on another country to amass a dossier so that you can get copies of that and work from that. Do your own work. Do your own investigations, okay? Do your own shit. Stop depending on people to give you handouts. Dottin, I think he's a criminal himself. Can't be too sure. Or should I say alleged? But I think that was he tapping phones or something like that? Wasn't he tapping phones? He was into something. And then he took it to court. It took years and years and years and donkey years. And then they said, man, that's not why we're him. He was the top cop. He was a COP. So we didn't want to bring no black stripe or strike, a black strike against the Barbados police. So we're gonna let that one go on. And then Mia Motley hired him. He should let him retire. Let him go. Let these people go. Hire new stuff. The new ones ain't no better. In fact, the new ones are even worse. You know, when you make a copy of 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 a copy. You understand what I'm saying, right? When you make a copy of a copy of a copy, it degrades. Same thing with having children. You are going to be better looking than the child that you produce, okay? And the child that they produce, they're going to be better looking than the child that they produce, okay? It's going to get worse and worse, worser and worser. Nothing's getting better. It's not getting better because you're not thinking. You're not thinking about how to play this game. You're just not thinking. You're just going along for a ride. Okay, 2 strikes for criminals, and he has Donville in his all up in his throat. He needs to stop. This is not going to go anywhere. This is not going to go anywhere. Okay, this is Sherry Veronica.